TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from MTR. The theme is accountability. I know the video earlier today held us men in the manosphere accountable. Now we're going to hold the women in the manosphere accountable too. Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
I wish you luck, and
I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish luck to racists.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes you are. Yes you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit racist.
And the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating a black guy.
I'm not going to beat around the bush for this conversation, and I'm going to get straight to the point. Pearl, you f***ed up. You knowingly invited a white supremacist and a self-proclaimed racist onto a platform which is primarily supported by, at least initially, and produced by black people. This comes across as insensitive to downright nasty. And I want to be clear, it's not just inviting said person to the conversation that's upsetting, because conversations with people who don't agree with each other or don't agree with a particular position, if done in a healthy way, can promote civil discourse.
I agree.
But your up was to not only not defend the people who help create the content on your platform, but to also push a narrative that is insensitive and damaging to those very same people. Pearl, you know that your staff is mostly black people. And I'm talking about from a production perspective as well as a talent perspective. You also know that the majority of your content utilizes black people talking about black relationship issues. You could have had black people sitting in the same room with this person in order to combat some of the hellacious things that were coming out of his mouth, or
Correct.
to have a different perspective that would have lent itself well to demonstrate the respect for the people that watch your content and that you employ. I don't think that your platform would be as big as what it is today
Nowhere
if it wasn't
close.
for the essential utilization of black people, black relationship topics, and black talent. And
I agree. Even me personally, I actually use quite a bit of black content creators because they are much bigger in this space. They have more knowledge in this space. I do go about, going about most different races and stuff like that because I like supporting everyone. But majority of my content creators that I watch personally are black. And it would be wrong for me to just straight up say some of the things or do some of the things that Pearl did. I do admit I do a lot of white racist stuff too, but that's just straight racism. I'm not trying to defend white people in a sense. I'm just trying to say, why are so many people upset at them and they're being racist towards them? I want to call that out. So this is a very similar thing.
the talent came from all over. When you include the likes of an Andrew Tate, all the way down to a Brittany Renner. And even from a content creator perspective, from me to a Melanie King, to a Sarah Garvey, to a King Riches, to an Auntie Jenny.
I like all of them. I like Auntie Jenny. I like King Richie's. I like Sarah. Like, they're all good people. They have good things to say. They've experienced a lot of life. I enjoy all of them. And they happen to be black. And again, for you to use so much black creators, black, like staff and things like that, and not defend your people when people are throwing salacious, accusations, that speaks about you.
So for those just unaware of what's been going on, Pearl has recently come under fire for these particular comments.
I'm trying to get my Africans in America. My Africans. Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're
You're
gonna
gonna
get in
get
trouble.
yourself
This sounds
canceled.
similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder of, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do, is they embellish. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was,
Right.
but they want to make it like more horrible so that they can control people.
Now, what's crazy is that I came across these comments while I was live streaming a couple of days ago. And what started out as a laughy, jokey live stream where I wanted to talk about my time up in London quickly diverted to one of the worst live streams that I've ever had in my life. And honestly, it was a trip to hell as I discovered the magnitude of the conversation that she had with this figure by the name of Nick Fuentes. Specific to the comments regarding slavery being embellished, I said this on the stream and I maintain it today that Pearl needs to be held responsible for this comment. Likening a quote from the writer of Roots explaining a myth for his people to hold on to does not negate the documented history of the atrocities that happened to Black people. And I'd argue that Roots was a light depiction of the savagery that my forefathers had to go through to ensure that I would be here today.
I can agree with MTR. Remember, I talked to you guys about The Killing Field, which is a documentary about the communist regime that took over Cambodia. And my father said that movie was very accurate. It's probably one of the most accurate movies possible. But it's still only 1/10 of the devastation that that happened. What you see there, it's bad, but it was 1/10 of what it really was. So I can agree with MTR that a lot of movies, a lot of these things actually don't know the true scope of devastations that happened.
But let me explain a little bit further how thoroughly that this actually is, because for me, it comes down to a question of ethics. You're interviewing a known Nazi sympathizer and an anti-Black creator and not offering any pushbacks whatsoever. And in fact, you're adding in your own fake news regarding the embellishment or the exaggeration of slavery.
This is literally just like the episode I did before this with Charleston White. When people make you money and people give you views, morals seem to go out the fucking door. You don't push back anymore. She always pushes back on women and modern women when modern women have comments and say things that are a little bit off. But when this man spoke, she went along with a lot of his points and did not debate anything.
Additionally, there are times within the conversation where it's laughy, it's jokey, it's kikiing, especially when you got specific in certain comments that reflected on CP time. And let me also say this, is that generally CP time is something that's laughed amongst people of melanation, but it's not taken as a joke when you're doing it with a person who is a self-proclaimed racist. Now that I've had the opportunity to digest all of the information, now that I'm not on live stream with thousands of people looking at me, and in the back of my mind, thinking towards the tens of thousands that are waiting for the perfect reaction from me, I begin to question why you didn't sympathize with the plight of African Americans or Black people in general. And not once in the interview did you have at least one pro-Black stance or some form of ethical defense or cultural sensitivity for the people who carry your production machine forward, or the people that you know that watch your channel. That's questionable at the very least, and it shows to me a degree of misguided that you are regarding our culture and that you have some introspection to do, and you have to find a newfound respect for understanding more about the people that work for you or who a component of the content is made for. The embellishment of slavery is where you display the true level of your insensitivity and lack of understanding about the culture that you have immersed yourself in, whether you like it or not. Pearl, at the end of the day, you f***ed up. I completely, as I said on that stream, denounce your statements. And I believe that you need to be held completely accountable for your words and your actions. And I want you to do it for the sake of my history, for the sake of my community, for the sake of my audience, and the people who have followed me and will continue to follow me, Pearl, the people that found you through my channel because of these actions. And Pearl, we had a one-on-one conversation before I recorded this video, and I told you I can no longer work with you. We had a dating show that was in the pipeline, and I was super excited about releasing this content on your platform and then cutting it up and putting it up on my platform and reacting to it. We did great content up there. But along with these statements that have come up, I no longer feel comfortable in having that dating show footage released along with the other content that was recorded up there onto your platform. I plan in the future not to release more content up onto the channel regarding my time in London. And to be honest, frankly, it really sucks because I had a lot that I wanted to be able to speak about. And again, to my community, to my audience, to the people who have followed me and will continue to follow me into the future, I have to take personal accountability for my working relationship with Pearl. And trust me when I say I take full ownership and full accountability. I had absolutely no idea of the comments that were made in the Nick Fuentes interview. And had I known this prior to, I would not have gone to London. I did not know about this until I came back. And then I went and did a live stream, and then my supporters let me know. For everyone else out there who's ever supported the platform and sent super chats, and for everyone who has been affected by this situation, like I said, I take full accountability. For those of you guys that have followed my platform for a long time, do understand that I've selected, at least I thought I've selected with a fine-tooth comb who I have chosen to work with. If you guys already know, it hasn't been a lot of people, okay? I've also have a no beef policy on my platform because I think it does us no good to continue to promote fights and spats. I'm all about delivering value at the end of the day. But as a man in this space, I got to take full ownership and full accountability. And along with my accountability, this is now my definitive stance. I can no longer support or associate myself with the Just Pearly Things platform. And for those who still wish to continue to support voices of women that are down into the space who agree with the particular message that we put up on Jump Street, I want you guys to go check out and follow the following female content creators. All right, I got a list of their names right here. Don't want to forget anybody. Chantel Simone, The Crimson Cure, Danica Marie, Six the Goddess, Melanie King, and of course, Shahrazad Ali. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. What you guys think about this particular conversation? Leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
And that was some interesting chow. You know, more power to MTR. The man, you know, is giving up a lot of money and a lot of content to denounce pearly things from his channel. I agree with him. If I was a man, a black man, I would be quite a little bit upset too. I'm a little upset for you guys because I know her production crew. I like her production crew. I love King Richie's. I like, you know, her producer, you know, top producer. I like I like most of her cast. And it's weird that she couldn't defend them in any way, even though she was going with like invited someone that literally went against their their being in general, in a sense. Yeah, this is accountability. I love MTR. He held himself accountable. I hold myself accountable about Charles. That's why I removed him off of my I removed that video off of YouTube. So, and I apologize. So hopefully she apologizes. But even then, I don't know how these apologies like really come about. Like, I mean, you get called out like this, I don't even know if these apologies are real or not, if they do come out. So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.